Hello. Hey. Hey, if you can hear me, say hey in the chat box just to the right. Let's see how this is working. I can see we've got Adam, Benny, Ryan, and AJ so far. So if you can, just type in hello, where you are dialing in from. If you can do that in the chat room. Hopefully we're all working. I just haven't seen anyone type anything in yet. I've just got to try and work out, can I... Two viewers. Show or hide participants in my broadcast with this button. Okay. Present to everyone. Can anyone hear me? Who's on? Can you type something in the chat box, just so I know? So I know that I've got you. One viewer. Okay, maybe I don't have anyone, do I? Hey, AJ. Sorry. Hey, Ryan. Hey, Benny. Awesome. So we got 6 on. Should have Adam, Benny, Ryan, Bethany, and AJ. Hey, everyone. Just those who have jumped in now, if you can just type something into the chat so I know that you can hear me. Just Coke. Breaking up a little. We're going to have to go with how it is. Let me know how it's going. Anyone else having any struggles with the bandwidth? I could possibly see if I can reduce the quality. FaceTime HD camera. Hey, Adam. Good to have you on. Hey, everyone else. AJ, Ryan, Benny. We've got, I think there was 3 others who'd registered. So we'll just, while we're waiting for the others, if you just want to type into the chat, type in where you're from and cool. Thanks, Adam. Where you're from, maybe just a random fact about yourself so we can just get a little bit of discussion happening. We've just got Tegan logged on. Hey, Tegan. Keeps bugging out. Hey, AJ. Okay. Let me check on my settings. Can so is the audio dropping out or just the video? Just give it a couple more minutes. Don't want to mess you guys around. Thanks heaps for, hey Tegan, thanks for dropping your message. Thanks heaps to everyone for jumping online. I just thought it was a great idea for us all to connect with the camp coming up next week. Just a good way. You know, most of you have been chatting away on the phone from what I understand with Meg and some of the staff. So I just thought it'd be a really good opportunity for us to just connect, put a face to some of the names or the voices. My name's Nathan, for those who have just jumped on. We'll be seeing a whole lot of each other over the next couple of weeks. Yeah, just wanted to connect and really just set a bit of the scene for what you can expect with the camps coming up next week and the week after. Not sure of all of your experience or you know, how many camps like this you've been involved in the past. Maybe just type into the chat box while I get the slides set up. Type into the chat box any previous experience at any other camps. You know, if there have been any other camps that you've been involved in as a coach or a facilitator, or any other youth programs, that'd be cool. Just type that into the chat box, and I'll get these slides set up. Yeah, pretty darn excited, hey Ryan? It's pretty awesome, pretty pumped about it all. Cool, mate. Might just be the weather, you know, when there's a bit of cloud around, sometimes it doesn't always work the way that we like it to. So can you guys see that screen there with the slides? There we go. That's what I'm trying to do. As you can tell, I'm not really a tech whiz, but you know, you do what you can, hey? We'll just use it like that, hey? That's good enough for me. AJ, working at the summit. Yeah, awesome. So just initially, wanted to welcome everyone. Wanted to make sure that everyone feels welcomed. Awesome, Tegan. Rustic Pathways, primary school expedition trips, lots of walking, paddling, sweet. So I want to make sure everyone feels welcome. We're so pumped to have everyone on board. You guys, thanks for giving up your evening to jump on the call. So it's pretty exciting. With everything that we've got planned, and you know, between tonight, we'll get a bit of an overview. We're not going to go into heaps of detail. We'll be able to answer some questions at the end. But also, you know, next Sunday at the training day, be a great chance for everyone to connect and touch base. We've already done that, so we'll move on to the next one. So really, the purpose of the call this evening was really, you know, to connect, to say hi, share a bit of the vision, and also to answer any questions, because from what I understand, we've got coaches from a range of backgrounds and experience, a range of number of years of doing this kind of thing, through to some people who've never worked at a youth camp. Awesome, Michelle. Hey, great to see you. I haven't worked at a youth camp, but volunteered at Health Retreat for Adults. Very cool. So I really wanted to just give everyone a chance to connect a bit and make sure that everyone's feeling like they're supported. Make sure everyone has a chance to answer any questions, because sometimes stepping into the unknown can cause just a little bit of anxiety around some of those unknown things. So we'll, at the end, we'll have a chance for some questions. So a bit of the vision around the Limitless camps, I wanted to throw this one to Ryan. Now I've got to work out the tech to add Ryan to video/audio. I'm just inviting Ryan now to take a bit of control. Hopefully this will work. Oops, I've just clicked Ben as well. Did Ryan just disappear? Okay. Bear with me, friends. Control room. Webinars on air. I want to show Ryan. Ryan just joined. There you are, Ryan. Ryan.
Hey mate, can you hear me?
I can.
So I just logged out then, and I'm back into Google Hangouts, so I'm online with everyone still.
Yeah, cool. So everyone should be able to hear you. So just if you can hear Ryan, please type yes into the chat box. And I'm just going to throw it over to Ryan to share a bit of the vision around Limitless Camp.
Awesome, Nate. I can't actually see that other screen anymore, so if anyone can hear me, if they can type in, and Nate, if you can just let me know, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I'll let you know. So if we can just have everyone just type in yes if you can hear Ryan. Type in no if you can't. Okay, let's go. Let's do this.
Awesome online. Well, mate, I had been running around like a 12-year-old for the last 2 weeks, just super excited about camp. You know, I feel more alive than I have in probably 8 years. You know, it was 8 years ago we bought the summit, and I remember having that feeling of we're doing something epic, and you know, we're going to make a massive impact, and it feels like that all over again. And it's been awesome working with Nate. You know, for the last sort of 6 months, we've been hanging out a lot and really kind of just letting our imaginations run wild in terms of what we'd love this camp to create for young people and the impact we want to have. And it's just been such an amazing process, you know, creating it, and we can't wait to share it with you. You know, I'm running around camp every day with a bunch of other 6 staff, and we're just high-fiving every 5 minutes and having these, you know, crazy conversations about, you know, what we want to bring in next, or what would that look like. And it feels like we've just got this free range of being able to just anything that we're passionate about or anything we're excited about, we can bring it into the program. And it just feels like we've created the most epic program, you know, on the planet from my point of view. And, you know, we're just super pumped to share it with you guys. And I know, look, it's a massive effort. We've got, you know, some of the coaches coming in from Perth and I think Brisbane, and there's 3 coaches flying in, which is such a massive effort. And it's inspiring actually to know that you guys are that passionate about it and share that same passion to make that much effort to be here. And I just want to say how grateful, you know I am personally, and the rest of the team is, to have everyone, you know, given their 100% to get here. And, you know, I know for some of you guys, you know, the pay rate isn't great, and there's a fair charitable component coming in here from a lot of people who've been just helping out on the sidelines and giving up their time. So super great, you know, grateful to have you here. You know, this is a massive dream for us, and you know, our first camp, so we're nervous, you know, we're excited. We know they're just going to become, you know, a more and more epic, but, you know, we'll get this first one under our belt, and then, you know, it's, you know, where to from there, it's, I guess that's up to us. So I'll share a bigger vision on the training day on Sunday, but I guess I just wanted to say a quick hello, quickly share what, you know, where we're at, what we're created, and the buzz and excitement around camp, and handle kind of any logistical questions you guys have on this call. Nate's going to share a little bit more about how the program might look over the next 4 days and answer some of your content-based questions. So I'm going to hand over to Nate, but thanks for taking the time out on short notice as well to be here at 7:30 on Tuesday night. I know some of you guys have given up some stuff, and, you know, we really appreciate it. So thank you, guys. I'll hand over to you, Nate.
Awesome. Thanks, Ryan. Appreciate your energy. Love everything that you are passionate about. So Ryan really is the reason that we're able to do what we're going to do, and really just the driving force behind the ideas. And for those who haven't been to the Summit campsite before, it will blow you away what they've created. You know, Ryan and the staff there have just made the most amazing campsite that I've ever seen. So the first time I had a chance to go down and visit, when we were dreaming about this idea of running these limitless camps, I just got there and I'm like, let's do this for the rest of our lives. But anyway, we do have lives aside from that. Just trying to make sure I got all the right slides. Okay, so just real quickly, I don't want to talk about myself. We're here to talk about camp, but just so you get a bit of insight into who I am, for want of a better title, I guess, I'm the team leader, or the main facilitator at the camp, and my background is I'm a high school motivational speaker. And I don't hold that title very tightly. I hold that title very loosely because I don't think of myself as a traditional or typical hyped up motivational speaker. One of the things that I talk often about is realistic optimism. And you'll hear a lot of my story through the camp. So I won't go into my story much, but I spend the bulk of my weeks and days in high schools running presentations, seminars and workshops around motivation, engagement, mindset, beliefs, growth mindset, leadership workshops. And it's a huge privilege. It's the dream that I had when I was about 18 or 19, and find myself 18 years later actually standing in the middle of what I dreamt of doing for a long time. So, I don't know, maybe a bit of inspiration there for you. If you've dreamt of working with young people and inspiring them to be their best, then continue to pursue those dreams, because your dreams do come true if you work hard and if you stick at it. So, I also have the chance to work with communities, with councils. I work with councils on youth engagement, working all the way through from their high schools, the young people, the parents, teachers, business leaders, and council staff. So, awesome opportunities that I get to do what I do. I'm a father. I've got a 2-year-old little boy named Oliver, and hopefully Kate, my wife, and Ollie will be able to come down on the Thursday, so everyone will get a chance to meet them. Totally passionate about my family, one of my highest values, and I've got another one on the way, due on the 15th of August. So that's only 7 weeks away. Next slide, enough about me. So looking at the Limitless Camp overview in the program, there was an email sent out a few days ago, which has a link, maybe it was even just yesterday, but it might have been a couple of days ago, which had a link to the actual camp program and the handbook. Can you type yes if you have had a chance to have a look at the camp program, which is just like the day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4 breakdown? Type yes. If you haven't had a chance to have a look at it, type no. That'd be good. No judgment there. Just wanted to see who has had a chance to have a quick squiz at it. The reason I want to know is just how much detail to go into. I don't want to cover stuff that's in those documents that you can just click and look at in your own time, because I don't want to keep everyone here too long. So just type yes if you've had a chance to look at it. Type no if you haven't had a chance yet. Really all I wanted to touch on was just the structure or the main content, or the way that we are running camp is really a combination of personal development content pieces. So I think there's 10, because I know we've been chopping and changing and adding bits and pieces here, there and everywhere. There's around 10 content pieces. So there'll be a combination of content delivered, so through story, metaphor, through principles and keys and ideas. We'll make sure that I'll get that link to you, Tegan. Maybe if Ryan has access to that link, he's not on the chat anymore, or if someone else can copy that link from your email and just post it into the chat for Tegan or anyone that hasn't had a look at it yet. So the 10 content pieces, and at the end of each content piece, there'll be a me time, which is self-reflection. There's questions in the handbook. We'll talk a bit about the handbook next. There's questions in the handbook for the student, the young person, to do some self-reflection on. And then we'll break up into our tribes. So each coach is assigned to a tribe of 10. So it'll be 1 to 10. And then we'll have some discussion around that content piece. So you'll be able to discuss the questions that were in the handbook. You'll be able to sort of unpack those questions a little bit deeper and see where your young people are at in terms of being able to then dig that a bit deeper. So that's just the content pieces. There's big experiential learning activities. So, for those who aren't aware of the campsite, it's got, from what I understand, the biggest giant swing in the Southern Hemisphere. It's got a massive abseil wall. It's got the leap of faith, kind of jump out and grab onto a bar. So there's massive experiential activities which can allow a young person, can allow all of us, we'll have a chance to play on those on the training day, to step out of your comfort zone, to experience something that maybe brings up a bit of fear, maybe brings up some emotions, some strong emotions, that people can use those experiences to bring out some meaning. So to create some self-belief, to create a sense of achievement, to be able to overcome fear, to be able to break through. So, they'll experience those activities, and then with no worries, AJ. So if someone can just copy and paste that link, that'd be awesome. If no one's able to get it right now, we'll make sure everyone gets it. That's all good. So then after those big experiential activities, then they'll break up. You'll be in your tribes and you'll have a debrief again. So through the training day and through the coach's manual, we'll have some ideas for you just around debriefing the group to get the most effect out of it, most impact out of it. There's also some big fun activities. Biggest chocolate pie fight in the world. Well, from what we know, some big fun activities like that to make sure it's not all hardcore, going deep and emotional. And sorry, Benny, must be the connection down your way. Has everyone else got things happening okay? Let me know.
Mate, I can hear you great, Natey. Okay. It's awesome.
No worries. Big fun activities to lighten the mood a little bit, and we've got some visualizations and some deep experiential learning metaphors as well. So there's a whole range of things that are going to make up the camp, not just the workshops, but a whole bunch of experiential learning activities, a whole bunch of fun, some dance, really just building with the content, but then the experience, and with relationships, and with the small groups, and with the debriefs with your coaches, and just really creating an amazing experience for the whole 4 days. So the next thing that I wanted to just touch on is the camp handbook. Awesome, Adam. Thanks heaps. There's the resources, which has got both the handbook and the camp program, the overview. So the camp handbook, that link is just there that Adam's posted. Legend. So everyone's got access to, make sure that got access to that handbook. That's got the PDF version of the actual camp handbook the students will get. So just as a quick overview of the handbook, because you'll see in the handbook, it's got the 10 content pieces, which have got then the self-reflection questions. So you'll be able to have a look at those questions and have some sense of what your young people are looking at when they are thinking about the content. And then they'll bring those into your small group discussion. So you'll be able to debrief that and take that a whole lot deeper. They've got extreme journal debrief and reflection. So the extreme journal is when they do, there's 3 experiential learning metaphors: a nail walk, the board break, and the arrow break. So they're going to be massive and they're going to be cool. So there's an extreme journal debrief. So they get a chance to debrief that in their own time, or not in their own time, but in their own way, personally on their own, but then also bring it to a group discussion and a group debrief and group reflection. There's also morning and evening journals. So we really wanted them to get stuck into a gratitude journal. So they've been set out in the handbooks as well. And then at the end, the main reason I wanted to chat to you about the handbook is because at the end of the handbook, there is the online program. So as well as the camp experience, we've created an online program for the campers to be able to use when they get home. It's video based. There are 10 modules and it's a 30-day program. So it will basically, each module will be released every 3 days. So they get to watch a video, and then the worksheet in the back of their handbook goes along with that video. The PDF of that worksheet will also be available to download it from the website, where the video will be seen as well. So just, we really wanted to do everything that we could to make sure that the camp experience was as deep as possible and as long lasting as possible, to make sure that they didn't just come and have an amazing time on camp and then go back home and not be supported with some resources. So that's the last component for the actual camp handbook. So before we go to the next slide, any questions that I can answer for you in relation to the camp program or the camp handbook that you've seen so far? Type any questions that I can answer for you into the chat box. If you've got no questions, just type in all good. Should have some background music or something playing to keep us all entertained. I'm assuming all good at the moment. Thanks, Adam. Anyone got any questions so far that I can answer for you? Or if you've got no questions, type in all good. Well, I'll move on if there are any questions that pop up rather than just waiting. So the online program, basically I've touched on the essence of that. 10 videos, 10 modules. Each video has a worksheet with questions, reflection, activities, and it builds on camp. So I guess to quickly touch on the camp content, you would have seen from, or you will see in the workbook, you'll see that the camp content essentially builds around the young person's self-belief, self-confidence, helping them find their personal power, really working on building the essence of who they are, who they're being, and then also the connection of relationships with the people around them, developing a support team or a dream team, and then the online program builds on that in a more practical way to look at setting a vision for their future. So whether that's a 12-month vision or a vision beyond the next 12 months, breaking it down into goals, and then how to win their day, because we have a successful day, you have successful weeks, you have successful months, you have successful years, and you have a successful life. And so the camp essentially is a personal development camp, and then the online program is much more practical around helping them integrate that into everyday life to make sure that they are being the person that they need to be to do what they want to do, to create the life that they want to live. So I'm sure that's pretty straightforward. If you haven't already, we have just set up a Facebook group for the coaches, so a place for everyone to connect. Type into the chat screen if you're not on Facebook, just if we can find if there's anyone who's not on Facebook. So I'll just post the link to the coaches group because it's a top secret group. I'll post that link in there now. And if right now I can just ask everyone to click on that link, if you are on Facebook, if you have a Facebook account, if everyone can click on that link and go and request to be added to that Facebook group, just so we've got everyone that we can on the Facebook group, because that's going to be a great way for us in between now and Sunday. If you've got any non-urgent questions, or if you just want to connect and see who some of the other coaches are, it's just going to be a great way for us to do that. So if you want to click on that Facebook link that I just posted above your chat post, that'd be awesome. So go and request to be added to the Facebook group. That'd be awesome. While we're doing that, Ryan,
hey, Nate. Sorry, Nate, am I online there?
Yeah.
I just wanted to say, look, I'm unfortunately one of the few people on the planet who isn't on Facebook. So for those other coaches that are on there and don't see me on there, it's not that I don't want to come and hang out. It's just that I've made a personal decision to not be on Facebook at this time of my life. So I'm not around on Facebook, but you can get me on email anytime.
Yeah, for sure. Anything that you want to add so far?
No, mate, it's sounding great. As long as people can all hear you, I've been hearing you loud and clear. If anyone does have any other questions that are popping to mind, then feel free to. This is a great space to share, and chances are someone else is probably thinking the same question. So if it's in your head, get it out. Otherwise, we'll nail it all down on Sunday.
Yeah, cool. Adam, I think I had the settings of the group as a secret group, so I've just changed it to a closed group. Click on the link again and see if that changes things for you, and hopefully you'll be able to request to join. Michelle, question from Michelle: do most campers come with people they know? So campers could be anywhere from they can be nominated by a parent, they can be nominated by a teacher at their school, they could have been a student who has come on a camp at the Summit, legend Adam, at the Summit campsite before, so it's probably through a school. So the way that schools worked, from what I understand, they were able to nominate up to 8 students. So there's a chance that they may be coming with other students that they do know, not necessarily coming with other people that they know. So it's going to be a real variety. There may be some young people who turn up, they know no one, and then there may be some who turn up in a little crew, but even some that know the people that are there from their school, but may not necessarily be best mates. Does that make sense? And pretty much finally, except for any further questions, the coaches training day starting on Sunday, 26th of June, this coming Sunday, starting off at 12 midday. So the logistics of travel and all that sort of stuff, from what I understand, Meg in the office has been chatting to all of the coaches. But if you do have any logistical questions about the coaches training day or about anything else that's going on at camp, please do pop them into the chat screen now. Please do ask any questions that you've got, because we want to make sure as much as possible that everyone has any questions answered. Make sure that everyone's feeling a sense of certainty around camp coming up. Certainly the coaches training will go from midday through to around 10 p.m. and it'll be a real variety of, we'll get to experience some of the things that the campers will be experiencing on camp. So we want it to be, I guess, let me say this, we want this to be just as much of a life-changing experience for you as coaches as it is for the young people. Sure, that the camp's designed and the purposes of everything that we're doing are designed for the campers, but at the end of the day, you guys being there, we want you to experience just as much. So in the visualizations, we want to encourage you guys to be a part of it, because modeling behavior is the best way to influence the young person, but also we want you to experience a level of breakthrough and a level of transformation yourself. So through the coaches training, we'll have some opportunities to experience some of the activities. We'll have some chance to go a bit deeper in terms of, we'll actually provide you with some ideas around debriefing, having some of those conversations with the young people, how to draw out as much as possible in terms of the meaning that they are attributing to some of the experiences and the breakthroughs that they're having, making sure we're able to really anchor those in to be a life-changing experience. So a combination of experiencing the activities as well as the training around the practical, how to hold the space as a coach, how to direct the conversations in some of those debrief conversations if it feels like it's going off track. So it'll be experiential, it'll be practical, it'll be fun. We want it to be as much of an experience for you guys as the coaches as well as it will be for the campers. Michelle, have no car. Is anyone able to give me a lift from Hawthorn? And what do we have to bring with us to camp? Ryan, I'll throw that one to you.
Sure, mate. So, guys, we actually have three guys coming in from interstate, and those guys are arriving at Melbourne Airport at about 9 a.m. on the Sunday morning. So it looks like there's going to be a few people who are wanting to find transport in. So I know Meg is going to be sending out a group email tomorrow to check in with you guys if there is anyone that can help with any of the other coaches, in terms of getting to camp. If Michelle's in Hawthorn, we're all sort of in a similar area, Melbourne Airport, Hawthorn. There's a group from Melbourne that will need to be coming in. So it would be awesome if there are other people coming from Melbourne Way who have transport that could grab 1, 2, 3 people. I know there'll be a number of coaches that would be super grateful to be able to, jump in that ride and get down here. So maybe you guys can connect through Facebook as a great way of seeing if you can arrange and organise that transport together. So that's in terms of in transport. There will be an email coming out tomorrow. The question, Michelle, was around what do we need to bring to camp. So you guys, some of you guys are here for 1 camp, some are here for 2 camps. So you guys need to bring, clothing that you're going to be comfortable in, that will maybe get wet at times. We're not going to throw you in, dams or crazy obstacles, but if it's raining on a day, just make sure you've got a few changes of clothes. You've got some warm clothes. That's probably going to be pretty important when we're outside, that you guys have got some warm clothes. We'll be providing everyone with a Limitless crew hoodie and T-shirt. So you guys will all be in uniform, which will be awesome, and kids can identify us, or any coach, by their blue Limitless crew tops, which would be great. But just think of camp. Think of, it's going to be cold, it's going to be wet at times. Bring heaps of warm clothes, and you guys, will have you'll have a great time. We want to make sure that you guys are comfortable at night. So we've actually got you in our teachers' accommodation. So some of our staff, our summit staff, who are also coaches, live locally. So some of those guys may go home late in the evenings. Some will hang out and stay. But essentially there'll be probably 10 or so coaches that will be staying in our teachers' quarters each night, which is, 6 twin share rooms, 2 bathrooms, main living area, heating, cooling. It's a great space to hang out. So that's where you'll be sleeping.
Cool, thanks, Mark. And obviously, like weatherproof shoes, shoes that are going to allow you to maybe walk through mud. What other questions can we answer for you? Because that's pretty much where we're up to now. Whether they're logistical, whether it's anything to do with what you'll be expected to do as a coach, any uncertainty that we can help you with.
I guess while we're waiting, Nath, I'd love, the coaches to feel really settled in their role. Essentially, we are actually paying our summit facilitators to come in and run a number of our experiential activities, our big, our big core activities that we'll be running, our Sky Window or our Sky Bridge, or, our Leap of Faith or our Snowy River Challenge. Like, these are summit-based activities that our staff have trained for, sometimes long periods of time to get their quals up so that they can run that activity. So just rest assured that our summit staff will be actually running the logistics of that activity. And you as a coach, your goal is always, being 100% present for these young people. It's your conversation, your support, your energy, your vibe, the safe environment you're creating for these young people is going to allow them to have these, this impact and this breakthrough that we're all so passionate about. So really, the focus for all coaches is the young people in their tribe, all the time, that we know that we're having significant conversations with those young people. And that's really the centering, mission for you guys is to be fully present for these guys. So we'll handle a lot of the other logistics. You guys are going to be handling the conversation and making sure their experience is extraordinary.
Yeah, cool. So Adam's asking, are we sleeping in the same rooms as the participants or separate? So the coaches are staying separate to the campers. The campers will be in their own accommodation. Tegan's asking, should we bring a sleeping bag? And if we're staying for the 2 camps, what should we do between camps? Do you reckon it's going to be possible, Ryan, for Meg to actually send out a what to bring list? Basically, I would imagine there'd be one that would have been sent out to the campers in terms of bedding, in terms of clothing. Do you reckon we could organise that?
Absolutely. I'll have Meg send that out tomorrow, and that'll have everything that you need. But generally, the answer to that question is yes. We do require you guys to bring some bedding. For the guys coming from overseas, we can probably overseas interstate. We can arrange that for you if you didn't want to take too much luggage. But for the other guys coming from Melbourne and locally, yes, please bring a sleeping bag and pillow.
Cool. Staying between the camps, there's the option of staying on site. Is that right, Ryan?
Come again, Nate? You broke up.
Staying between the 2 camps. So Tegan's asking if they're staying on for the second camp, what to do in between.
Yeah, sure. So we will keep that accommodation open for anybody that's staying from the Thursday, afternoon through to the following Monday, where we start camp 2. So you guys have got full accommodation here. You also have access to our main camp kitchen. So we'll have our catering teams put aside a bunch of meals for you guys over those 3 days that you guys have access to and can help yourself. So breakfast, lunch and dinner will be provided, but you'll be doing that yourself. You'll just go and help yourself at our camp kitchens. You can stay on site. There is a camp vehicle here which is available for you guys to use if you need to nip down the street. We're close by, within 5 minutes from camp. There is the majority of everything that you would need. So if people did need to duck down, pick something up, buy something, that we'll have a vehicle available for you guys to nip off site.
And that's not essential though. So if you do live in Melbourne, you don't have to stay in between camps. Is that
Yep,
that's
absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, correct. It's only those that would like to stay in between. Everyone else, from the time we have our final coaches debrief on the Thursday afternoon, and we all high five, pretty exhausted. It's up to our coaches on what they choose to do from that point on. If they want to head home or go and hang out with a friend or whatever it is, awesome. We really want you guys to switch off and have some time off. It's super important that we're all showing up 100% ready to rock and roll for the next camp on Monday. So do whatever we need to do to make sure we're feeling alive again for the next camps.
Adam, cool. How would you sum up the intended overall aim of the 4-day experience in a sentence or 2? Ryan, would you say, I guess the phrase that we've used often, taking good kids and allowing them to step into their greatness?
Yeah, essentially that's the goal. We've been saying all camp that we want to help good kids find their greatness, and that's essentially what we're trying to do. When we were picking young people for this program, we knew that there was a lot of support out there for disengaged youth. So that's actually not our target market. Why? We'd love to support everyone. There are 1,000 great services out there to support disengaged youth, and a lot of money provided by governments to help them, which is awesome. There's also a few programs for really high achievers, people that are already, young people who are already very motivated and absolutely killing it in life. And that really wasn't our target market either, although we're going to get a bunch of those youths on camp. Our goal was to really find kids that sit in the middle who, you would have heard a teacher at school say, or Jack, he's just got so much potential. Or if someone just invested a bit of time or resources or effort into that young person, man, they would just shine. And our goal was to find kids in the middle who were certainly passionate about developing their greatness and help, bring them into that. So it's around finding your greatness and discovering what you're capable of. That's all we want to do on camp.
Yeah, and probably another element of it is often, I say in the work that I do, and probably a huge element of what we've brought together is to help young people know themselves, be their best, and make the world around them a better place. So there's also that element of contribution. So just to see what they have to contribute to the world, but when they go back to school, when they go back home. What other questions can we answer for you? Has anyone got any queries or concerns? Timmy, struggling to get onto the link. Do you mean to log on here or the Facebook link? Any other questions that we can answer for anyone? Pretty pumped about the whole thing. We'll still keep it open for questions, but really just this is the first of many camps, and we're excited that you guys put your hand up to be a part of it. We're so grateful that you're willing to invest your time and your energy into the young people that are going to be here on these camps. The vision is to see around 500 teenagers go through these camps in the first year, and they have been fully funded. So these kids are coming along. They haven't had to invest the money, and probably wouldn't necessarily have had the opportunity to come to a camp like this if they did have to. They certainly haven't been targeted because of a particular demographic, but the reality is there are only a handful of camps like these around Australia. I've had the opportunity to work with some of them, and they're awesome. But also, they cost money, and so the uniqueness of this camp opportunity is the fact that it's been fully funded by the Impact Project charity, by the money that Ryan and Mel have invested in making this happen. So, just so excited about the possibilities, the young people's lives, what they're going to encounter, what they're going to experience. And I guess maybe for anyone who has any sense of anxiety around having not been experienced in any of these areas, really just come focusing on contributing, focusing on what you have to give and how these young people are going to get so much out of it. So, often when we shift our focus away from the things that we're uncertain about and onto serving and showing up 100%, it just helps so much. Adam, given some of the activities are potentially quite triggering for some young people, are there any wellbeing professionals present on camp if anything needs to be followed up beyond the sessions? So from what I understand, Ryan's got 2 social workers / psychologists. Maybe you want to talk about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So we do have 2 local psychologists that have been working with us on our pre-camp surveys, and also in terms of supporting us if we do have any challenges during the camp for young people who are experiencing some emotional challenges. So they are available. They're on call and are there in the background if we need support. We also have a bunch of other floaters, so to speak, who will be, there's about 4 of us who are in and around camp who are available to support any young person if they need to move outside of their tribe or an activity is particularly challenging, that either myself or our senior business manager would work with that young person initially, and then if it's outside our skill set, our psychologist would then step in to help with the young person's emotions.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously that's something that we need to be fully aware of. In the coach training, we will talk about some of the boundaries in terms of where you do take the kids and what you do allow them to talk about in the group setting, but also with the opportunity to have them speak with people one-on-one if we do need to go down that road. Making sure that the camper's well-being is obviously protected and looked after as much as possible. Yeah, super pumped, Tim. Any other questions that we can answer for you? Anything you're not sure of? Need some more clarity around? If you do, I'm not sure if anyone who is a coach knows other coaches who they know weren't on the call or aren't yet connected in the Facebook group. But if you do know coaches who aren't yet connected in the Facebook group, if you can shoot them an invite, that'd be awesome, or add them yourself. That'd be super cool. And so that's it for the slides. It is now 8:20, so we've finished 10 minutes early. High five. Any further questions, anything that I can answer for you? If not, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much for everything. Thank you for your commitment. Thank you for your investment. Thank you for your passion for helping young people. This 2 camps coming up in June, July are going to be awesome. And yeah, no, really super psyched that they're going to really 120 so students per camp, 240 students are going to just have the time of their life and experience something that they've never experienced before in such a positive way. So now the ripple effects of that when the campers go home, back to their families, back to their school, back to their communities. I know it can be an overused kind of hypey phrase, but they're just super excited. So I reckon we'll leave it there. Have you got anything else you want to add, Ryan, before I close off? If anyone does have any further questions, feel free to hang around. Ryan, have you got anything?
No, mate. I'm all good at this end. Just to reiterate what Nathan was saying, how pumped we are and how grateful we are. We do know the effort, people have been putting in, and not only all our coaches, but, also the team here at the back end of, there's 6 or so people every day just working overtime to make this awesome. So got so much good support around us, and I guess we just we'll see all of you on Sunday, ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, and it's really cool, I guess, just to finish off, because there are so many coaches, and I don't know most of you. I know a handful of the coaches from my networks, but there are coaches, some who have years of experience in the youth industry, in the camp industry, in the personal development industry. So just like it's an awesome team, and I'm really looking forward to everyone that, we're not the be all and end all of camp experience and content. So, just to be able to partner with you guys to make this the most amazing camp experience in Australia, and for it to live on for many years to come. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Nath. Appreciate you making this call happen, mate.
My pleasure. So I'll shut it off there. If you do have any further questions, ask any questions in the Facebook group. Oh, one final thing. In the Facebook group, I just created a tiny little post. Introduce yourself. Tell us a bit about where you're from, your background, what you're passionate about. So, no, when you get time, obviously, maybe not tonight, but if you've got time tonight, jump into the Facebook group, introduce yourself, and start to interact with the other coaches. And then we will see you on Sunday. You guys are awesome. Have a great night. Thanks, Michelle.